Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on this video. In today's video, we're going to be making some holiday appetizers. I've got a few different savory options and then one sweet treat at the end. So if you guys want to see what we're going to make, then please keep watching. Alright guys, first up is our Lil Smokies Wreath. What you're going to need is a package of crescent rolls, brand of your choice. Then you're gonna need some beef Little Smokies. They're like little mini hot dogs. They have them in different protein varieties. I've seen it turkey, beef, I'm sure they even make pork. So pick the one that your family likes. One red pepper. This is for the decoration to make the bow, you guys will see. And then one beaten egg for the egg wash at the end. So first thing you wanna do is take out your dough from the package. I already preheated my oven to 375. Got your dough all rolled out. Now you're just gonna push the seams together. Gonna make it one big pastry dough sheet. Okay, once you've got all the seams pushed together, you're gonna go ahead and cut these in strips. All right, I went ahead and emptied our Little Smokies into a bowl just to make assembly easier. So I think I'm gonna cut it down in half once more, considering these are so tiny. You're gonna roll it over. You don't want too much dough. It's gonna kind of mess up the baking time. So I'm just gonna cut these in half. So take your Little Smoky, wrap it in your dough like so. And then I'm gonna arrange it into a wreath shape on this non-stick cookie sheet once we get them all rolled and formed. Now's the fun part. We're gonna go ahead and arrange them in our little wreath shape. You want them touching, so make sure you push them down. You might have to play with this a few times till you get the placement perfect. All right, looks good. I've got a few left over here. I'm just gonna bake these on the side, maybe give them to my daughter as a little snack. So we've got our egg wash already all mixed up and ready to go. We're gonna spread that on the pastry. This is gonna cause it to brown and get nice and flaky. You can also use butter, but I find that egg wash works much better. All right, our wreath is ready to go. We've got our egg wash on. I'm gonna stick it in the oven at 375 for 8 to 12 minutes. All right, while our crescent rolls are baking, we're gonna go ahead and cut up this pepper. We're essentially just cutting this up for decoration to put on the wreath to make a bow. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off all the sides, kind of make a bow shape like so. It's a little bit tricky. I might use some toothpicks when we come down to the presentation, but you basically just wanna make it look like a little bow. This step is completely optional, but I thought it was very festive. All right guys, these just came out of the oven and it's perfect. All right guys, I got it transferred over to its serving dish. It does kind of look like a square, but hey, you get the idea. And I must say it was quite difficult to get it off of the baking dish, but I did manage to get it off in one piece without breaking its shape. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our red pepper for our bow. Thinking I'm gonna use a toothpick just to make it stay. All right, there we go. The bow isn't perfect, but you get the idea. You can put ketchup, mustard, or barbecue sauce, or whatever kind of dipping sauce you like in the middle, and it's good to go. All right guys, next up we're gonna work on our cheese ball. Now I went ahead and made our cheese mixture yesterday. I took 2 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, 3.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, half a package of fresh chives, and 1 packet of ranch seasoning. So I will insert a clip so you guys can see how I did it. So the other things you're gonna need besides the ingredients for the cheese ball is some pecans. I went ahead and crushed them up. This is going to be the coating. And then you're gonna need a grape tomato. I've got a few in here just to see which shape I like best. Some pretzels, black olives, you're only gonna need one, and then some crackers for the dipping of the cheese. But the whole purpose of me making this yesterday was so that it could sit overnight. The recipe does state it needs at least 4 hours, but it's best if it chills overnight. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the package. I'm gonna empty my pecans on the plate here, and then we're gonna put the cheese ball in the pecans and kind of roll it around so it sticks to the ball. It down in there, make sure it's nice and stuck on. So give a nice crunch factor to the ball. All right, we've got all the pecans on there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put on our ears, our Rudolph nose, and our eyes. So you're gonna wanna put the ears at like an angle, kind of to look like antlers. Just gonna push it down. I couldn't find the big ones in my store. I would have preferred the big ones, but this will work. Just try to stick it in there as securely as possible. There we go, he's kind of pointed. Now we're gonna make our eyes. Go ahead and cut those olives. And stick them in there the same way you did the tomato. Just put a little pressure. You don't want the olive or the tomato to collapse. All right, next you're gonna need some crackers of choice. I really love this entertainment cracker selection from Walmart. They're really good. Anytime we have any kind of dip, like spinach dip or anything like that, we use these and they're very, very good. I've also got some crackers and some little like bruschetta pieces from a gift basket we got for the holidays, so I'm gonna use those too. Just go ahead and arrange your crackers. Guys, super simple, very delicious, and very festive. All right guys, next up is our deviled eggs. Now basically what we're gonna do, I went ahead and cooked 6 eggs. You can make as many as you'd like. Again, this is just for my family, but if you're having a get together or even a larger family, cook more eggs because we're gonna cut them in half so it'll equal 12 eggs, if that makes sense. So you're gonna need your eggs, of course, whatever you like to make your deviled eggs with. I use mayo mustard, salt, pepper, and paprika. And then you're gonna need some gel food coloring. I picked red and green. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these in half and I will be back. Okay guys, I decided to share with you how I make my deviled egg mixture. I know everybody is different depending on where you're from and how your mother teaches you or whoever taught you, but this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how my mom taught me. So you're gonna go ahead and mash up all your egg yolks. Try to get it as pasty and crumble free as possible. But if you like yours super creamy, go ahead and stick it in a blender, or you can mix it up with a hand mixer, but we're not super picky here about it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push these down. I'm gonna go ahead and take my mayonnaise and my mustard. Now my mom never really told me an exact amount. We kind of just taste it and see how it is, if it needs more mayo, needs more mustard, and vice versa. Start with 1 heaping tablespoon of like mayo, a couple squirts mustard, and we'll mix it in. Ratio tastes good. Now we're gonna add our salt and pepper. And the paprika I put on last as purely decoration. All right, off camera, I went ahead and washed these and cleaned them out. We're gonna go ahead and mix up our dye mixture. So I'm gonna add a couple drops of green and red to some water, and we're gonna put the eggs in there and just let them sit. And you can get it as bright or as light as you would like it. You can make it very subtle as far as the color or very dark. It's completely up to you, and it depends on how long you leave it in the water solution. Okay, and now you're gonna just take your eggs and drop it in. All right, that's it. You're just gonna let them sit. We're gonna keep checking back and pulling a few out to see how the color is soaking in. And once you get it to your desired brightness, then you can take it out. All right, guys, these eggs have been sitting for quite a while now, about an hour. The red looks good and opaque. The green still looks like it needs a little bit more time, but I still think it's pretty green compared to the white. So So we're gonna go ahead and take these out. Very, very careful. You don't want to break the egg. Let's go ahead and take the red out. The red really took the color. I went ahead and put my yolk mixture in my piping bag. I chopped up a little bit of chives, and then we're gonna add the paprika at the end too. The paprika and the chives are just for color. So I'm gonna go ahead and start piping. You don't have to use a piping bag. I just thought this would look prettier. And there we have it. Like I said, this one did break, but that's all right. This is for us for at home, so I'm not worried too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of our chives, and then we'll add the paprika and then transfer it to the plate. Go ahead and arrange them on our plate here. They might slide around a little bit. Guys, our beautiful Christmassy themed deviled eggs. All right guys, next up is our Cane Caprese board. So what you're gonna need for the caprese salad is some French bread that's already sliced, some red tomatoes. I'm gonna use about 3, package of fresh basil, or if you have some from your garden, if you have one, that would be great. Some sliced mozzarella cheese, a balsamic glaze, some salt and pepper, and some olive oil. So first up, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my tomatoes and cut them up into thin slices. Okay, we've got our tomatoes all sliced. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start slicing our mozzarella. This is already pre-sliced, but I think the slices are a little bit thick. So if they are, I'm gonna go ahead and trim those down as well. It's actually not too thick. I'm just gonna keep it as is. All right, the next step is really, really easy. You're just gonna go ahead and make a shape of a candy cane on your wood cutting board or whatever serving pot you're gonna be using. Go ahead and start placing my tomatoes first, and then we'll go back and add the mozzarella, just so I make sure I have enough cheese and tomatoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and insert that mozzarella in alternating colors. There's our candy cane. It's so beautiful and nice and thick and hearty. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our basil. I'm gonna add it into little corners, so if you wanna take a piece when you take your bite, you can grab it from there. Kind of arrange it in a floral pattern here. Now we're gonna take some of those smaller leaves, kind of just put it around the corners here. Go ahead and take my little dish here, put it on top of the basil leaves, empty out some of that glaze into the bowl. Go ahead and add a little spoon just to drizzle. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add my olive oil. I'm using a coffee spoon again, just because the portion is right. It's not too much. You don't want to drown your tomatoes and your mozzarella with olive oil. Just gonna take a little bit of sea salt, sprinkle it over, because you always want to season your tomatoes. And then a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. All right guys, we've got our caprese. Now we're gonna get out our platter of bread. You can always toast this or use little tostinis. You could use crackers, or you don't have to use bread at all. It's completely up to you. But I am gonna serve it with a side of bread. Beautiful little pieces of French bread. There's nothing left for me to do. And here's what our candy cane caprese looks like. Very festive. Bread on the side. It's perfect. All right guys, last but not least, we're gonna make our Christmas Jello cups. So what you're gonna need is 1 3-ounce package of lime Jello, 1 3-ounce package of strawberry Jello, some whipped cream, and then some sprinkles of choice to go on top. And last but not least, you'll need some clear cups of some kind. If you have shot glasses, those will work, or even clear cups will work as well. But I wanted something small since this is a treat, so I got these from Walmart in a large package. So first we want to go ahead and assemble the Jello. We're going to do one by one. So you're gonna go ahead and make your Jello per the package instructions. Okay, I've got my Jello all mixed up. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna fill your little cups halfway with the red Jello, and then these need to set. Once they've set, we'll go ahead and do the green and put the green on top. Now they don't need to set completely. We'll wait maybe a half hour or 30 minutes just to see if it's starting to firm. Once it is, it'll be perfect to put the green on top. Otherwise, you're just gonna mix the red and the green together and it's gonna look brown. So it's gonna mess up the whole thing. So we're gonna go ahead and fill our cups halfway with the red Jello. These are all full. Now we're gonna set these in the fridge for about 20 minutes to a half hour just to see where we're at. All right guys, now we're gonna go ahead and make our lime Jello per the instructions. All right guys, I just took my strawberry Jello out of the fridge. I did stick it in the freezer for like 5 minutes just to speed the process along. As you can see, it's still kind of jiggly, but I think we'll be able to pour it on top without it seeping through. So we're gonna try one and see. So the key here is to just pour it slowly and around so there's not a lot of pressure in one point in the cup, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna pour it in, roll it around. Just be very gentle. Here we go. See how it's got two distinct lines there? Guys, now I'm very carefully gonna put these back in the container and go stick it back in the fridge. All right guys, our Jello is good and set. As you can see, got that beautiful red and green variation there. I'm gonna go ahead and add our whipped cream on top, add some sprinkles, and that's it. Use some sanding sugar here, and then I've got some chunky sprinkles. Maybe I'll add a few on top. Have it, guys. Got our little Jello sundaes, if you will. Alright guys, that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed my holiday appetizers. If you give any of them a try, please let me know in the comments down below. They're all very easy and crowd pleasers. You won't disappoint with any of these recipes. So I wish you guys a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and be safe and take care. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows in the